Hey people, Natalie here, just checking in with you guys. I wanted to hop on today and do a video explaining why construction jobs and renovations take so long and why does it always seem that there can be delays and how is it not going as fast as it goes on TV? First of all, that's totally fake. That's why I want to give you guys the real scoop. So typically, let me show you, I'm going to use my little toys to give you a good illustration today. So typically a client, here's my little client guy, will find us and they'll call me and say, hey, I'm looking to do a home renovation. I need some help. Natalie, can you help me? I'll say, sure, definitely. So we set up an appointment. I bring my little contractor out. These are the main men that make all the job happen. So we come out, make friends, give a quote, tell people what the project's going to cost, give them a start date, and here we are ready to roll. So the client is used to just seeing me and the contractor. So those are the faces to the job. But what they don't realize is there's so much going on behind the scenes that we have to organize and make happen. So our little contractor guys do super, super hard work. So many people are like, why do they make so much money? What do they actually do all day? They do a lot of the dang things. So happy little client can go on about his life, but don't worry, he's always checking in on us. Contractor and I have to get the job started. So I give the information to the contractor. I say, hey, this is what we're going to do. This is the design. These are the materials. And the contractor says, awesome. I'm going to go ahead and get the guys rolling. So little contractor man, you see him. He's sort of the star of the show down here. First, what happens is we have to do framing. So we may need some walls to come out and put some walls up, put headers in, add a room, take away a room, all that kind of good stuff. This takes time, guys. We got to do this first. We got to make sure it's done right. We may need an engineer involved. We got to make sure we have the right framing package, meaning the wood that we have to order, get it there, all that kind of good stuff. This guy, these guys, it's always more than one, but are very important. So he has to come in first, or this crew has to come in first. This trade is what we call it. The next trades to come in are electrical. Where's my little guy? Is he cute? And plumbing. Here's my little plumber. Can you see him there? Okay. So these guys got to come next. So once framing is finished, these guys want to come in. But here's the deal. These guys don't ever want to work around these guys. What's funny is there's actually a little bit of like industry drama. Every trade thinks that, you know, they are the best and most important, and they all are super important, but it's kind of funny to see it behind the scenes because if you've got these guys still working and if our awesome contractors are trying to make our client happy and make the job go faster and bring these guys in to kind of work alongside or in a different area, or maybe, heaven forbid, they're working in the same space, there's a lot of tension. They don't like it. We can get smiles that turn into frowns super fast. So if you've got angry trades, it's definitely not something that you want to do. So just know that we can't pile all the guys in there at once because they don't like it and they need their own space. So just know that's one of the reasons. So got your framing done. We'll get our little electrical guy happy again because he's going to have his own space and his own time. So framing's done. Then we have our electrical. Plumbing comes in. We can't do anything else until this is done because after that, these are when the walls are open. So HVAC also comes in during this too, after the framing and stuff. So what we have to do there is make sure that these guys are done because after that, we're closing up the walls. And once we close up the walls, it's really hard to move stuff around. So then we bring drywall in. So after electrical and plumbing, we'll have the drywall people come in. They close up those walls, guys. But here's what happens so much. We're about ready to get our awesome painters in the mix. They're ready to come and start making the place look good, prime it, get it ready. But then the client comes in and says, oh, you know what? Actually, I was thinking and I really, really want 57 more outlets and I want to move 4 light fixtures. Okay, so of course, whatever the client says we got to do. So then a contractor comes and is like, oh, Nat, we're going to have to there's going to be a delay because now I got to redirect everybody and get everybody back on site. Okay, no problem. We'll handle it. So then typically I talk to the client and let them know, look, we can do this, but there's going to be a delay. We got to do this. So to get your 57 outlets and more light fixtures, guess what we got to do? We got to bring the electrician back in, and if you've made some crazy changes, we may need a framer or trim guy to come back and do that too. So now we've got these guys sort of tripping over each other a little bit again, which you try not to do. Again, we don't want anybody upset or frowning. So after that happens, then we get cabinetry in. Didn't have a little thing to describe that, but cabinets come in, trim goes in. Then we've got to get the painters back doing their thing. Finally, we can start painting, so those guys are happy. But then we have to have the tops come back in. This is your granite countertop. We put the tops in, but sometimes there's problems here if it's delayed, or they have to measure after cabinets. So a lot of times we're like, well, speed it up. We can't, because we put the cabinets in, then your granite people have to come in and take a template so they know what the size of the granite is. And then there's a kind of a pause. Usually there's not a heck of a lot we can do there. We may do some, some painting, some other little things, but it feels like a pause a lot of times, to wait till the granite tops come in. Because if you've got tile that goes above the granite, that can't happen till this guy's done. So then we get that happening. Then your flooring is going to come in too, somewhere in there, typically more towards the end. But then the paint guy has to come back because he's got to touch up with the granite guys messed up, and then the flooring guys messed up because they always nick and bump and scrape and scratch things. So that happens. And every day, this is what the contractor and I have to deal with every day. Every day we're going to see a good old pile of this because people come in. They're going to come in frowning, in a bad mood. And do you know how many times we get this call? Can't make it today. Truck's broke down. So then we're stuck with that. And so many times people will be like, so I hear your electrician's out for the next few days. Just call another electrician. Don't you have a backup? Well, guys, you know what? Sure, we could call another electrician, and typically we do have 1 or 2 sources that we can go to, sometimes 3. But here's the deal. Our guys are worth waiting for, and we know that, and we trust it. So if our electrician is out because he's sick or, what have you, or his truck breaks down, we would rather wait for him and lose the 3 or 4 days on the job to know that we're going to get the job done right. And then here's the other thing. When you see these trades, all this mess of people that our happy little contractor is having to take care of, every one of these trades comes with an army of their own. See the little army guys? So for every trade, you are having even more army people that have to be managed. So if you think per trade, if we have 7 trades, meaning 7 industries that are coming in, and each one of those has 5 people, I mean, you're already at sometimes age 48. So it's a lot of people. So you just want to have patience when you just see the contractor and I are smiling and doing our best. You have to understand that every time you come in and make a change order, there's going to be possible delays, and that we're balancing this whole mess. All these people and all this stuff have to be planned and put together and controlled and babysat. And we love what we do, guys, but we do ask for that patience. And that's why it's unrealistic. And that's why it doesn't happen HGTV style. Because on HGTV, I guarantee you, when they've got all those dudes in there working together, behind the scenes on those cameras, you got a bunch of trades looking like this. And everybody's frustrated. So it's just not real life. So hopefully that was a good little illustration as to why the jobs don't happen as fast as they do on HGTV. We'll see you later.